Okay, now let's take a quick look at this next step called unpacking the standards. And for this one, then you are focusing on looking at the standards. So you're going to list out your standards that you think will be in this unit. And remember, if you're doing a unit that's more thematic, you might have multiple disciplines in your standards. If you're in elementary. And so make sure you consider all those possible standards. And again, this is a draft. You can come back to this, but using these standards can be a guide for you to look at potential content that's going to be in your unit. After you do this, you realize that, okay, I could go back and I could add more KDUs. Remember that the scope you've already done, that was a draft. And so you might keep adding to it. This is a very iterative process, meaning it cycles back on itself as you learn more and you keep adding to it. And in the end, you're going to list out the standards here and just list them out, cut and paste them into here. I do this electronically. And then over here, then you're going to identify the key nouns and verbs of each standard. And that's really all you're doing, is you're just looking at what are those key statements from the standard that tells you the content, the know, and then the verbs is going to tell you kind of the do and the understand. So the nouns tend to line up with the know from your previous scope, and the verbs tend to line up with the do and the understand. And so after you complete this, you might want to go back and add some more KDUs to your scope that you've already done, which is perfectly fine to do. And then in the end, you're going to end up with these statements here built on the know, the nouns and the verbs, which should align to the KDUs. And then from that, our next step will be to start generating some questions that will outline the unit from that.